Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into how a national lockdown in China accidentally kicked off a massive revolution. And this wasn't led by activists or tech giants, nope. It was led by everyday shopkeepers with just their smartphones, and it has completely changed how 1.4 billion people shop, learn, and live. And this quote right here, it just nails it. We're talking about something that started as a last-ditch effort, born from this incredible hardship, and now it's becoming a key part of the economic recovery. So, how on earth did that happen? All right, to really get this, we have to rewind to early 2020. I want you to picture the world's factory, this buzzing, nonstop Chinese economy. And then suddenly, silence. The streets go empty, and the engine of global commerce just stops. Think about it, no customers walking through the door, and very little government support to lean on. For millions of small, family-run shops, this was an existential threat. It wasn't just some economic downturn. For them, it was literally a fight for survival. But out of that sheer desperation, a kind of makeshift solution started to pop up. And it wasn't some fancy new technology. No, it used a tool that was already in pretty much everyone's pocket, the smartphone. So you had shopkeepers literally locked inside their own empty stores who just started pointing their phones at their products and hitting broadcast. They were creating their own personal TV shopping channels on the fly, beaming their inventory straight into the homes of millions of people who are also stuck inside. And when you break it down like this, you can see exactly why it took off. This was so different from old-school TV shopping. Instead of just passively watching, you've got real-time chat. Instead of a massive production budget, anyone could do it with just a phone. But the real game changer, that one-tap purchase. It completely removed all the friction between seeing something you want and buying it. So what started as this scrappy tactic by a few store owners quickly snowballed into a national phenomenon. And there was no place where this transformation was more dramatic than in the world's biggest wholesale market. Let's just try to wrap our heads around the scale here. The Yiwu market, it's basically a city of shops. We're talking over 74,000 of them. To put that in perspective, that is a physical marketplace the size of 130 Tokyo domes. Just massive. And inside this city of commerce, you can find 1.8 million different products. This place is the source for so many goods that are sold all over the world, including a lot of the items you'd find in a dollar store or a 100-yen shop. It's an absolutely critical hub for global trade. So imagine that giant engine of commerce suddenly silent, totally cut off from the world. When all the foot traffic just vanished, this whole ecosystem had a choice, adapt or die. And so thousands of shop owners, even the guides who used to lead buyers through these maze-like halls, became live streamers, literally overnight. The government saw this happening and moved fast, providing training and support, and basically turned Yiwu into the holy land for live commerce. And the audience for this new type of shopping? Well, it just went through the roof. You can see it right here. In just 9 months, from June 2019 to March 2020, the number of live stream viewers in China jumped from 430 million to 560 million. That's an increase of 130 million people. That's like the entire population of Japan decided to start watching in less than a year. So here's the really crucial part. This became a mainstream habit, like instantly. We're talking 62% of all internet users. At that point, watching live streams was actually more popular than playing mobile games. And that's when you know something has fundamentally shifted in how people spend their time. But this whole revolution wasn't just about selling t-shirts and kitchen gadgets. The model, this direct interactive broadcasting, was so powerful that it got picked up by completely different and frankly, sometimes surprising parts of society. The core idea just exploded way beyond shopping. It branched out into all these different areas. All of a sudden, you had virtual classrooms, live concerts, and even the nightly news all being delivered through this live stream format. It really touched almost every part of daily life. And check this out, this is one of the most incredible examples. In rural areas, the normal supply chains were totally broken, leaving farmers with crops that were about to rot. So what happened? Local government officials, we're talking mayors and county heads, took free online courses on how to be a live stream host, and then they went on air with farmers to sell produce directly to the whole country. Amazing. And this innovation was just popping up everywhere. The travel industry, which was totally devastated, created something called cloud travel, selling millions of dollars in future vacations just by streaming live video of these beautiful, empty resorts. A matchmaking service was hosting 10 million virtual dates a month. And maybe the wildest one, a symphony orchestra performed a live concert on a gaming platform with live comments flying across the screen during a classical performance. Just incredible. So this huge wave of adaptation, all born from a crisis, has permanently changed the media landscape. And in the process, it's thrown down a direct challenge to the biggest, most established screen of them all, television. I mean, when you put them side by side, the advantages are just so clear. Live streaming is simply faster, it's more nimble, and it's way more interactive. You can make money directly from sales, not just ads. And you can serve a tiny niche audience just as easily as a huge one. It has a flexibility that traditional TV just can't compete with. So, what does this all mean for the future? Well, we might be looking at a world where TV is reserved for those huge, unmissable live events. You know, the Olympics, major national news, but almost everything else. Talk shows, special interest programs, variety shows, all of that could move permanently over to these more agile, more interactive live streaming platforms. So that's the story of China's accidental revolution. It just goes to show that sometimes the biggest leaps forward don't come from some grand 5-year plan. They come from the simple, powerful need to survive. Which leaves us with the big question you see on the screen. This was born from a crisis in one country. What's it going to take to trigger it everywhere else?